Alright, welcome back to How to Make Hero Concepts. Today we're going to be looking at objective defenders, more focusing on the playstyle of defense. As you can see here, we have Chip, Role Protector, Playstyle Defense, Description Dockmaster. We'll get into a story in a bit. It's a pretty interesting one, but still looking at that playstyle of defense and Protector. Remember, Protector, what we talked about, is a defensive DPS, a damage hero that focuses on defense rather than offense. And the playstyle is defense. The playstyle defense just means that instead of focusing more on attacking offensive, so you have protectors who attack enemies that are coming in. Their goal is to try and kill them before they get to the objective. Playstyle defense focuses more on what happens if they do get to the objective. What happens if they do get to the objective? You put down defenses to protect the objective. So even if they get to the objective, you get on the objective and your defenses keep them from getting to it. It keeps them at bay, keeps them away from the objective, or keeps them in critical danger if they're on the objective. Alright, so looking at Chip's ability set, we have Harpoon. Primary is a Harpoon. He launches harpoons. Harpoons are like giant arrows. They're used to spear whales and other marine mammals by sailors. Passive, Lifesaver. If you've ever been on a boat, you've probably seen these. They look like little rings. You throw them to people, keeps you afloat. Lifesaver. When a critical ally is nearby, you throw them a quick healing life preserver that also blocks damage from hitting their midsection. If you ever worn a lifesaver, it's just basically a floaty device. It's just a flotation device. It's like a ring flotation device. So this thing, it gets thrown on an enemy, it heals them for, I think, 100 damage, and it also blocks damage while it's healing them. So it's just a quick healing device just in case there's a critical ally nearby. Barrel gun. What launches a barrel harpoon? So a barrel attached to a harpoon. So it does more damage because it's a giant barrel coming at you with a harpoon attached to it. Barrel hook. It's a hook ability. Hook an enemy dealing double if they are critical. So it's basically just a hook attack. Like Roadhog from Overwatch. Junker Queen has a similar one with her knife. It basically just pulls the enemy directly towards you from their position, and it deals double damage if they are in critical health. So pretty good extra little secondary critical damage there. Boathouse. Build up a boathouse tower that can be used by allies for a vantage point. So basically just think of it as like an archer tower, or just like a regular tower. Just a tower that people can climb up onto and get high ground. Snipers can go up there. You can place a turret. If there's an ally who has access to place a turret, they can place a turret up there, and the turret will have eagle-eye view. And speaking of turrets, cannons. You can place a max of 4. Cannon sentry that launches cannonballs every second. The balls knock back enemies. And cooldown to 6 seconds per cannon. So you have a max of 4 cannons out, and these cannon sentries launch cannonballs. So they're not like turrets. The cannonballs do more damage, but they don't fire the cannon sentry only fires 1 cannonball each second. So it's not going to do a lot of damage. It's mostly, but there's 4 of them, so it's kind of even out. So it's not going to do a lot more damage. Most turrets do more damage than cannons do, but cannonballs knock back enemies. So it has the knockback factor, plus the cannonball does more damage, plus you can have up to 4 of them. So pretty defensive character. Now you can see why he's a defensive character. He can build a boathouse tower. That's a defense. It can be used by allies for a better vantage point on attacking enemies, and cannon sentries to knock back enemies from the objective. Ultimate Big Bruce. Launch a mechanical shark to terrorize the map for 20 seconds. So it's basically an AI shark, AI-controlled mechanical shark that hunts down enemies around the map for 20 seconds. Pretty scary ultimate. Alright, let's get to his vertical stat block, and we'll come back for the story. So of course, as we see here, Chip, harpoon gun. Here we have his name, Chip. Description, he is a dockmaster, as we said before, and his playstyle is defense. And his primary was harpoon gun, as we said before, launches harpoons. His passive was lifesaver, remember, throws a life preserver that heals a critical ally nearby. Harpoon is manual because it's a projectile, and lifesaver is healing, the light yellow. Then we have the barrel hook. As we said before, launch a barrel attached to a hook, so it deals a lot more damage. I think it was called barrel harpoon. I think that's what it was called. Barrel gun, barrel hook. Okay, so not barrel gun launches a barrel. Makes sense. It's a gun that fires barrels with harpoons on them. And then harpoon hook or barrel hook. Barrel hook. Hook ability, same as Roadhog from Overwatch. If you ever played that game, just hook an enemy and pull them to your location. Hook ability. Boathouse, as we said before, builds a tall tower that can be used by allies for a higher vantage point. And then the cannons, as we said before. So barrel gun, that is a manual because it's a projectile. Barrel hook is a melee because it's a hook. It's a melee weapon. Boathouse is a structure, so it gets the crimson for a shield because technically it's technically blocking damage as a shield. And cannons, of course, if they're automatic controlled by AI or aim assists, they're going to be auto, getting that black with the white text. Same for Big Bruce. Big Bruce is a shark bot that can travel the map, so that's going to be an auto. And then his health is 200. Alright, so let's go back to our sheet here and finish up by looking at his story. Pretty interesting story to go over. It'll shed some more light on the type of world we're in. An old dockmaster working his dues on the piers. Unfortunately, even in his line of work, the Second Rebellion cost him dearly. In the Second Rebellion, as we talked about before, there's at least 3 of these that were done when Axtro soldiers rose up against humans who weren't giving them equality in the world. So we know that there's 3, we're talking about the second one here. In the Second Rebellion, 75% of the world's population of humans and Axtros alike were very devastated, with Chip's entire staff killed off by seafaring Axtro units. In light of this, he responded by pulling up his sleeves and tinkering up a support system of machines to keep his boat dock safe and efficient. He built the boathouse from scratch, the warehouse is cleaned up, the cannons planted facing the bay and at entrances to keep out intruders and keep away threats from the sea. So this guy had his entire crew be completely devastated and killed off by this giant world war that happened during the Second Rebellion. So instead of, crying about it and trying to find a different line of work, rolled up his sleeves and took care of it by himself. Pretty strong man in that aspect. Alright, so that's going to be the end of this video. As we discussed, the playstyle defense. There's 2 types of defenders, ones that attack oncoming attackers, and one that defend objectives. Chip is a defender. He places a boathouse that can be used by other allies to attack attackers from below, and cannons, which are basically just like bigger turrets. They do more damage, but have a slower fire rate. They do less damage over time, but they do knock back enemies, and you can place 4 of them. So he's defending the objective, while the other defenders that he's partnered with take out the oncoming attackers. Alright, thank you guys so much for watching. Like if you like, dislike if you don't, subscribe if you like it, and I'll see you guys next time. Toodaloo!